You trust the ground beneath your feet. It feels solid. Your breath fills your lungs, steady and unseen. You believe in the immutable laws of physics, the bedrock of everything you perceive. But here is the problem. That feeling of safety is an illusion. It is a carefully constructed interface, a user-friendly skin stretched over a reality that is anything but benign. We are going to peel back the layers of your comfort zone, one by one, from the ground to the sky to your mind and finally to existence itself. Science usually reinforces your feeling of stability. It offers explanations, builds models, promises understanding. But there are whispers in the data, equations that refuse to balance, observations that tear at the fabric of consensus. These are not conspiracy theories. These are hard facts, measured, verified, and then quietly filed away by experts who, for the first time, find themselves wishing they had never looked. They are the anomalies, the glitches in the static of the cosmos, the raw code of reality screaming that something is fundamentally wrong. For centuries, the unknown represented opportunity, a blank space on the map waiting for a name, a discovery to be made. But there are some unknowns that are not meant to be known. Some truths are not liberating, then are confining. They are the walls of a prison you never realized you were in. These are the secrets that make scientists uncomfortable, that make them pause, that make them question not just their models, but the very nature of reality. They speak of a universe that is not merely strange or vast, but artificial, broken, or worse, malevolent. These are the whispers of a cosmos that is not simply indifferent, but actively hostile, or perhaps just a flawed simulation running on ancient, decaying hardware. The equations are whispering that we are living on borrowed time, on borrowed logic. Once you see the universe as a fragile bubble instead of a fortress, you can never go back. You cannot unsee the cracks. The data is screaming. It tells us that the universe is not a beautiful natural tapestry, but a hastily constructed stage, a set designed for a play we are forced to perform in. It is a trap, a meticulously crafted cage where the bars are the very laws of physics we once trusted. This is not a story of discovery. This is a story of revelation, of a curtain being pulled back to expose the gears and wires of a cosmic machine designed for purposes utterly alien to us. These are the anomalies that redefine everything. They are the evidence that our reality is a meticulously maintained, yet occasionally glitching, facade. Consider Oumuamua, the name itself, a whisper of a scout, a messenger from the unknown. In 2017, it appeared, a silent, cigar-shaped visitor from interstellar space, a cosmic anomaly that tore through our solar system. It was the first of its kind, an object not bound by our sun's gravity, just passing through. We saw it for a fleeting moment, a ghostly silhouette against the void, and then it was gone. But what it left behind was not just a memory, but a profound, chilling question. Astronomers tracked its trajectory. Its path was clear, its speed immense. But then something impossible happened. As it departed, Oumuamua inexplicably sped up. It accelerated. Not like a rocket, not like a slingshot from a massive planet. It just accelerated. Comets do this sometimes, but they do it by expelling gas and dust, creating a luminous tail. Oumuamua had no tail. None. It was a dark, silent projectile, gaining speed without any visible means of propulsion. Imagine a car accelerating on a flat road, its engine off, its wheels still. It defies every known law of physics, every piece of conventional understanding about how objects move through space. This wasn't a minor deviation. This was a profound violation. It was a glitch in the cosmic spreadsheet. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, a respected figure in astrophysics, made a chilling suggestion. He proposed that Oumuamua was not a natural object at all. He argued with cold, rational precision that the most logical explanation for its anomalous acceleration was that it was an artificial light sail, a piece of technology, a probe, an alien artifact, a scout. The terror here is not the idea of alien life. We have long imagined life on other worlds. The terror is its cold, silent efficiency. It arrived, it observed, it left. It took a look at our tiny, fragile solar system, this speck of dust in the vastness, and then, without a word, without a signal, it departed. What did it see? What data did it collect? Did it scan us? Did it analyze our composition, our radio signals, our existence? And then, the most unsettling question of all, did it send a message back? Did it transmit our coordinates? Did it report its findings to a distant, unseen fleet? The silence that followed its departure is not reassuring. It is deafening. It is the silence of a hunter who has spotted its prey and moved on to alert the pack. We are left with the chilling possibility that we were merely an item on a checklist, a point of interest on an interstellar reconnaissance mission. The scout has come and gone. The data has been sent. How long until the main fleet arrives? Or perhaps it was not a scout at all. Perhaps it was just a discarded piece of space debris, a fragment of a vast, alien machine, a weapon, a vessel that passed by us with barely a glance, utterly indifferent to our existence. That is a different kind of horror. The universe is not just vast, it is littered with the detritus of civilizations far beyond our comprehension, and sometimes that detritus brushes past our home. Now, shift your gaze. Look beyond our solar system, beyond our galaxy, to the unimaginable scale of the cosmos. Our universe is a tapestry of galaxies clustered together, forming vast cosmic webs. Imagine walking through a dense, ancient forest, trees stretching to the sky, undergrowth thick and tangled. Then, suddenly, you step into a perfectly circular clearing. No trees, no undergrowth, just an impossibly empty circle, hundreds of miles across, in the middle of an otherwise vibrant forest. This is the Boötes Void. It is a colossal, spherical region in the constellation Boötes, stretching an astonishing 330 million light-years across. For context, our entire Milky Way galaxy is only about 100,000 light-years in diameter. This void is more than 3,000 times larger. Within this immense volume, there should be statistically thousands of galaxies, tens of thousands, but there are almost none. We have found a mere handful scattered like lost pearls in an ocean of absolute emptiness. It is often referred to as the Great Nothing. Nature does not form perfect spherical vacuums on this scale. The universe, in its natural chaotic expansion, creates filaments and clusters, dense knots of matter and vast, irregular voids. But not this. Not a perfectly clean, perfectly round absence of almost everything. It defies the very principles of cosmic evolution and gravitational collapse. It looks less like a natural phenomenon and more like an intentional act. It looks like something has been removed. This is where the true terror begins. What could create such an impossibly vast, impossibly empty sphere? The most unsettling hypothesis points to a Kardashev type the third civilization. A civilization so advanced, so powerful, that it has mastered the energy of entire galaxies. Such a civilization might build Dyson spheres, colossal megastructures that completely encase stars to harvest every last photon of their energy. If a Type 3 civilization were to expand, to colonize, to build, it would consume. It would clear out entire galactic neighborhoods, transforming them into fuel for its unimaginable machines. The galaxies in the Boötes Void are not missing. They might simply be invisible to us. Encased. their light, their very existence, captured and consumed by an intelligence beyond our comprehension. Imagine an ant colony clearing out a patch of grass to build its mound. This is that, but on a cosmic scale. A civilization so vast, so hungry, that it has effectively cleaned out a region of space larger than thousands of our galaxies combined. It is a cosmic construction zone, or perhaps a cosmic graveyard. The silence of the Boötes Void is not a tranquil silence. It is the absence of life, the absence of light, the absence of everything we understand about the distribution of matter in the universe. It is the sound of an entire region of space being harvested, consumed, or simply erased. It is a footprint, a colossal, indelible mark left by something that does not merely exist within the universe, but actively reshapes it to its will. It is a warning, a chilling testament to the power that can be wielded when life is allowed to expand unchecked, unfathomably advanced, utterly alien. The emptiness is not natural. It is a void filled with the echoes of what was and the terrifying implications of what could be. In 1991, a particle slammed into Earth's atmosphere. A proton, harmless, right? A tiny subatomic speck, an invisible whisper in the vast, indifferent void. But this was no ordinary proton. This was an OMG particle. Its energy was so immense, so utterly staggering, that it defied every known law of physics, every celestial mechanism we understood. Imagine a baseball hurtling towards your head at 60 miles. Per H-hour, a painful impact, yes. Now compress all that kinetic energy, every single joule of it, into a particle smaller than an atom. That's the kind of force we're talking about. This particle was moving at 99.99999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999. The speed of light. Its energy measured 3.2 Thor-10 circumflex 20 electron volts. To put that in perspective, the Large Hadron Collider, the most powerful particle accelerator ever built, can barely reach 10 circumflex 13 electron volts. This particle was a cosmic sledgehammer, an impossible bullet. Where did it come from? That's the question that still haunts physicists. The standard model of cosmic rays posits that such ultra-high energy particles are generated in extreme astrophysical environments, supernovas, active galactic nuclei, gamma-ray bursts. But the problem is, for a particle to retain such incredible energy over vast intergalactic distances, its source must be relatively close. If it traveled too far, it would interact with the cosmic microwave background radiation, losing energy, slowing down, scattering. This is known as the Guck cutoff. The OMG particle was far, far above that cutoff. It came from somewhere within a few 100 million light-years of us. Yet there was nothing there. No black hole spewing forth unthinkable power, no exploding star, no titanic cosmic collision. Just silence, a blank canvas of the void. It's like finding a bullet lodged in your wall, still smoking, but with no gun, no shooter, no window shattered, no door kicked in. Just the bullet, a testament to an event that must have happened yet left no other trace. This isn't just a mystery, it is a profound violation of our understanding of the universe. It suggests an energy source beyond our wildest imaginings, operating with a precision we cannot fathom. And that's where the true terror begins. This wasn't radiation from a distant, chaotic event. This felt directed, not necessarily at us, but certainly towards our region of space. It was a stray bullet, yes, but a bullet from a gun firing with a power that could obliterate entire star systems. A single, unseen shot from an unknown conflict, an intergalactic skirmish playing out on scales we cannot comprehend. We are standing on a battlefield oblivious, while impossible projectiles whistle past our heads. The silence surrounding its origin is not reassuring. It's the silence of a hunter, or the chilling quiet after a catastrophic weapon has been discharged. We were almost hit, not by a natural phenomenon, but by the collateral damage of something far more vast, far more destructive, far more active than we ever dared to imagine. It wasn't an accident of nature. It was an echo of a cosmic war, a whisper of a technology that can weaponize individual protons with the force of a supernova. And it passed through our reality, leaving only a single impossible scar. The universe is not just strange, it is a firing range. Imagine a star, Kick 8,462,852, colloquially known as Tabby's star. For centuries, it burned with a steady, predictable glow, a beacon in the vastness. Then, in 2015, astronomers noticed something impossible. Its light was dimming. Not slightly, not regularly, but erratically, dramatically, by as much as 22%. A planetary transit, even a giant gas planet, could only block a fraction of that light. A swarm of comets, unlikely to be so dense, so perfectly synchronized, so sustained. Dust clouds, they would emit infrared radiation, which wasn't observed. Every natural explanation we could conceive, every cosmic veil, every stellar quirk fell short. The most compelling and terrifying explanation was an alien megastructure, a Dyson swarm. Picture it, not a single solid sphere, but a vast collection of solar collectors, orbiting a star, harnessing its immense power. A testament to a civilization so advanced, so ambitious, that it could reshape its entire stellar neighborhood. This would explain the irregular, dramatic dimming. The structures would block the light as they moved. It would be the ultimate signature of a Kardashev Type 2 civilization, a species that had mastered its star. But here's where the narrative shifts from awe to dread. The dimming wasn't just irregular, it was long-term. Over the course of years, the star's overall brightness continued to decrease. This isn't a structure under construction. This is a structure in decay. This isn't the hopeful hum of a nascent civilization building its future. This is the mournful silence of a ghost town. Tabby's star is not a monument to a thriving empire. It is a ruin. A vast, intricate, impossibly engineered ruin, slowly crumbling into cosmic dust. Imagine the scale of it. Metal structures, possibly kilometers wide, drifting aimlessly in stellar orbit, reflecting the dying embers of a star they once sought to master. What happened? What catastrophe befell the builders? Did they collapse under the weight of their own ambition? Did an internal conflict tear their civilization apart, leaving their greatest achievement to become a tombstone? Or worse, did something external, something else in the vast, unforgiving cosmos, come for them? The silence of Tabby's star is deafening. It whispers of a past apocalypse, a cosmic warning scrawled across the heavens. It suggests that even the most advanced civilizations, those capable of engineering stars, are not immune to erasure. We are not looking at a blueprint for our future, but a cautionary tale, a dilapidated mansion where the previous tenants vanished without a trace. The remnants of their grand design, now just colossal debris, silently testify to a failure, a destruction, an end. The implications are chilling. If a civilization capable of building a Dyson swarm can vanish, what hope do we have? We are staring at the wreckage of a dream, a colossal monument to a species that is no more. And the long-term dimming continues. Is it still decaying, or is it being dismantled by something else? Is there a cosmic scavenger picking clean the bones of fallen empires? The star's light flickering erratically through the colossal wreckage is not a sign of life, but a flickering candle in a forgotten crypt. The universe is littered with such abandoned projects, silent reminders of those who tried and failed. And the question hangs in the dark: what killed them? And is it still out there? The universe, as we understand it, began with a bang. The Big Bang. And the echoes of that primordial explosion, the cosmic microwave background CMB radiation, still permeate all of space. It's a faint, uniform glow, a perfect snapshot of the infant universe, about 380,000 years after its birth. Scientists have mapped this radiation with exquisite precision, creating a cosmic baby picture of our reality. And for the most part, it's remarkably smooth, showing tiny fluctuations that perfectly match our standard cosmological model. But then there's the cold spot, a vast, anomalous region in the CMB, spanning over 1 billion light-years across, where the temperature is significantly colder than its surroundings. It's too big, too cold, too perfectly defined to be a random fluctuation. Imagine a perfectly smooth, pristine sheet of ice, and then in the middle of it, a massive, perfectly circular bruise. It defies explanation within the standard model. Scientists have tried to explain it away. A supervoid, a region of space with an unusually low density of galaxies, could cause a slight temperature drop. But even the largest known supervoids aren't nearly large enough, or empty enough, to account for the cold spot's extreme temperature and vast size. It's an anomaly that screams for a more radical explanation. And that explanation, whispered in the hushed tones of theoretical physics, is the multiverse. Not just a theoretical concept, but a physical imprint. Imagine our universe as a bubble floating in a vast, infinite ocean of other bubbles, other universes. These bubbles are constantly forming, expanding, and occasionally colliding. The cold spot, then, is theorized to be the bruise of the universe. It's the scar left by a cosmic fender bender. Our universe, this fragile bubble we inhabit, once collided with another, a different reality, with its own unique laws of physics, its own dimensions, its own fabric of space-time, pressed against ours. The cold spot is the point of contact, the physical evidence of that violent, unimaginable impact. Think about it. Our entire reality, the vastness we perceive, the stars, the galaxies, the very laws that govern existence, are not isolated. We are not alone, not even in the most fundamental sense. We are part of a larger, more chaotic cosmic tapestry, constantly bumping up against other realities. The boundaries of our universe are not impenetrable. They are thin, permeable membranes, susceptible to the influence, or even the direct impact of other realities. This isn't just an abstract idea. It's a physical, measurable anomaly that suggests a profound fragility to our perceived reality. The cold spot is a window, or perhaps a crack, into something beyond our comprehension. What was the other universe like? Was it hotter, colder, denser, more violent? What kind of fundamental forces governed its existence? Did it leave anything else behind? And what happens when these bubbles collide? Does our reality warp? Does it tear? Does it bleed? The cold spot is a reminder that the universe we inhabit is not a solitary fortress, but a flimsy soap bubble in an infinite turbulent bath. We are not safe. Our reality is not guaranteed. It is subject to the whims and collisions of other, unseen realities. The universe is not just vast, it is crowded, and sometimes the neighbors bump into us. The cold spot is not just a cold spot, it is a chilling testament to the fact that our reality is just one of many, and it bears the scars of interaction with something utterly alien, utterly beyond our current understanding. It is a cosmic reminder of our own precarious existence, a permanent bruise on the face of our universe, whispering of what lies beyond. Our Milky Way, your home, a sprawling spiral of billions of stars, is not adrift in the void. It's not a quiet island. It's a ship caught in an invisible current, a ghost tide pulling us, along with millions of other galaxies, at an astonishing speed. We are hurtling, along with our entire local supercluster, towards a single, unseen point in the constellation Hydra Centaurus. This is anomaly number 6, the Great Attractor. You trust the laws of physics. You understand gravity. You see a galaxy, you calculate its mass. You predict its pull. But here, the equations break. Here, the visible universe falls silent. What we observe, what we can measure, is not enough to account for this monstrous, relentless drag. Imagine standing on a calm beach, feeling a gentle breeze, then noticing the entire coastline, the very sand beneath your feet, is being pulled slowly but surely towards a massive, unseen whirlpool just beyond the horizon. That is your cosmic predicament. The numbers are terrifyingly precise. We are being pulled at hundreds of kilometers per second. Not just a few stars, not just our galaxy, but an entire region of space, a vast tapestry of cosmic structures, is being herded like cattle towards an invisible slaughterhouse. This isn't random drift. This is a directed motion, a cosmic migration driven by something immense, something truly colossal. But here is the problem, the chilling core of this anomaly. We cannot see it. The Great Attractor lies hidden behind the galactic plane of our own Milky Way, a dense veil of stars and dust known as the zone of avoidance. It's like a thick fog bank, impenetrable to our telescopes, a cosmic blindfold placed precisely where the greatest threat resides. You are being dragged inexorably towards a presence you cannot perceive, a leviathan cloaked in cosmic dust. You feel its pull in every atom of your being, in the redshift of distant galaxies, in the very fabric of space-time, yet it remains a phantom. What could possess a mass equivalent to tens of thousands of Milky Ways? What kind of entity, what kind of structure, could exert such a gravitational dominion over such a vast swathe of the universe? It is not a black hole, not a supermassive black hole, not even a million of them. Its scale defies conventional astrophysics. It is a statistical impossibility, a gravitational singularity that should not exist. The silence from that hidden zone is not empty. It is the roar of an unseen ocean, the groan of an unimaginable weight. It is the sound of your inevitable trajectory. You are a passenger on a cosmic raft, and the current is pulling you towards a waterfall you cannot see. Only feel. The universe, in its indifferent majesty, has a direction, a destination, and you are part of its unwilling cargo. This isn't a theory, this is the raw data. This is your future, already written in the stars, etched into the very motion of reality itself. You might be distracted by the petty dramas of your daily life, but the current is constant. The pull is relentless. The monster is waiting, and you are already on your way. You are a marble on a tilted plane, and the tilt is towards the void. You might believe the universe is a place of random chance, a chaotic dance of particles and forces. You might cling to the comforting notion that on the largest scales, the cosmos is a smooth, uniform expanse, where every direction is roughly the same. This is the bedrock of modern cosmology, the cosmological principle that the universe is homogeneous and isotropic. It's the assumption that allowed us to build our models of the Big Bang, of galactic formation, of everything we think we know. But then there's anomaly number 7, the Hercules, Corona Borealis Great Wall. Imagine gazing into the deepest reaches of the observable universe, billions of light years away. You expect to see galaxies, clusters, superclusters, all distributed more or less evenly. A cosmic foam, perhaps, but one without any jarring, impossible patterns. What scientists found instead was a monstrous, impossible structure, a filament of gamma ray bursts stretching an incomprehensible 10 billion light-years across. Gamma ray bursts are the most powerful explosions in the universe, marking the deaths of massive stars or the mergers of neutron stars. They are not random. They are the signposts of active, massive regions. To find them aligned in such a colossal continuous wall is like finding a perfect, intricate mosaic stretching across an entire continent, a mosaic made of nuclear explosions. Here is why this is an impossibility, a direct slap in the face to our understanding of reality. The universe is only 13.8 billion years old. Light, the fastest thing we know, can only travel 13.8 billion light years in that time. For a structure spanning 10 billion light years to form, for matter to coalesce and organize itself into such a coherent, interconnected entity, would require more time than the universe has had to exist. It would require information, gravitational influence, to travel faster than light, to coordinate across distances that simply shouldn't be connected. It is like looking at a newborn baby and seeing it solving advanced calculus, or building a skyscraper. It violates the fundamental timeline, the very speed limit of causality. This isn't a statistical fluctuation. This isn't a random alignment. This is a pattern that screams impossibility from across the cosmic abyss. This great wall is a glitch in the grand simulation, a tear in the fabric of space-time, a cosmic anachronism that should not be. It forces two horrifying conclusions upon us. Firstly, our entire cosmic model is fundamentally, catastrophically wrong. The cosmological principle, the very foundation upon which we've built our understanding of the universe, might be a comforting lie. If the universe isn't homogeneous, if it can spontaneously generate structures of this impossible scale, then what else have we misunderstood? What other fundamental truths are actually illusions? The universe isn't just strange, it is actively deceiving us, or perhaps it simply doesn't conform to our neat little rules. Your understanding of reality, the very framework of your existence, might be a house built on sand, and this great wall is the tide that washes it away. Secondly, and perhaps even more chillingly, this structure might be a relic, a ghost from a previous iteration of existence. If matter couldn't have formed it in this universe's lifetime, then perhaps it was formed in another. An echo, a scar, a fossilized remains of a universe that existed before ours, a cycle of cosmic creation and destruction we can barely conceive. Imagine finding a perfect, gigantic machine on an alien planet, a machine so complex it could only have been built over eons. Yet the planet itself is only a few million years old. It implies a previous civilization, a previous cycle of life and death, an ancient history that dwarfs our own. The Hercules Corona Borealis, Great Wall, is not just an anomaly. It is a cosmic middle finger to our sense of order, a profound challenge to our understanding of time, space, and the very possibility of existence. It is a whisper from beyond the veil, hinting that the universe is far older, far stranger, and far more complex than any of our theories can grasp. It is a structure that should not be, and its existence means you are living in a reality that is either broken or far more ancient and terrifying than you could ever imagine. You stand on a small planet, orbiting a middling star in an unremarkable galaxy. This is the Copernican principle, the humbling truth that you are not special, not central. It is the cornerstone of modern astronomy, a philosophical anchor that pulled humanity from the delusion of cosmic self-importance. The universe, vast and indifferent, does not revolve around you. But what if it does? Enter anomaly number 8, the axis of evil. This isn't about distant galaxies or impossible structures. This is about the very first light of the universe, the cosmic microwave background CMB radiation. It's the afterglow of the Big Bang, a faint, uniform hum of energy emanating from every direction, a snapshot of the universe when it was just 380,000 years old. It should be perfectly isotropic, perfectly random in its subtle temperature fluctuations, a pristine echo from a time before stars and galaxies even existed. It should have absolutely no preferred direction, no alignment with anything in our local corner of the cosmos. Yet, scientists discovered something truly disturbing. Certain large-scale features in the CMB-specific patterns of temperature variation are eerily, impossibly aligned with your planet. Specifically, they align with Earth's ecliptic plane, Frith, the path the sun takes across your sky, Frisi, and even to some extent with Earth's equator. Think about that for a moment. The primordial light of the universe, emitted billions of years before Earth even formed, before your solar system was a glimmer in a nebular cloud, somehow has a preferred orientation that matches your tiny, insignificant planet. The probability of such an alignment occurring by chance is astronomically small. 1 in hundreds of thousands, 1 in millions. Some calculations push it to 1 in billions. This is not a coincidence. This is a deliberate, impossible pattern. This is why it was grimly dubbed the axis of evil. This anomaly shatters the Copernican principle. It forces two equally terrifying conclusions, each ripping apart a different fundamental assumption about your reality. First, the unthinkable. What if Copernicus was wrong? What if, against all scientific reason, you are at the center, not just of your solar system, but of the entire observable universe? What could possibly explain such a cosmic coincidence? Are you living in a uniquely privileged location? Is this a cosmic bullseye, and you are the target? Or are you the prisoner, and this alignment defines the boundaries of your cell, the fixed point around which everything else is constructed? This implies a level of cosmic design, a focus on your existence, that is both flattering and utterly terrifying. It would mean the universe is not indifferent. It cares. But why? And what does it want? Second, and perhaps more chillingly, the simulation hypothesis. If the universe isn't truly centered on Earth, then this impossible alignment points to something else entirely. A rendering artifact. Imagine a video game. The game world is vast, but the engine renders it from a specific viewpoint suiting your character's eyes. The axis of evil could be the equivalent of finding the hard-coded coordinate system, the grid lines of the simulation, bleeding through into the rendered reality. It is a bug in the code, a seam in the fabric of the simulated universe, visible only if you know where to look. Your reality, your entire perceived existence, might be a meticulously crafted illusion, a digital construct designed around a central viewport, Earth. You are not a free entity exploring a vast, objective cosmos. You are a character in a program, and this axis is the faint, almost imperceptible signature of the programmer, the invisible lines of code that define your world. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is what the raw data of the CMB, the echo of creation itself, is whispering. You believe in a universe that is real, tangible, and independent of your perception. But the axis of evil suggests otherwise. It suggests that your reality is either a cosmic stage built specifically for you, or a digital prison designed around your point of view. It is the ultimate challenge to your sense of autonomy, your belief in objective truth. You might think you are exploring the universe, but what if the universe is simply rendering itself for you, and the axis of evil is the invisible boundary of your personal cosmic cage? The universe has always whispered secrets, but sometimes those whispers aren't just information, they are a warning, and some warnings come as a drumbeat. Consider fast radio bursts, frabs brief, violent flashes of radio waves originating from billions of light years away. They last only milliseconds, yet in that micro-instant, they unleash more energy than the sun produces in days. You might dismiss them as cosmic fireworks, a natural if extreme phenomenon. But here is the problem: some of them repeat. FARB 121102, for instance, has flashed over 150 times. Not randomly, not like a dying star. Its bursts follow a pattern, a rhythm, even a strange mathematical progression. What could produce such focused, repeating, mathematically precise energy bursts? Scientists have few natural explanations. But among the most unsettling theories, proposed by Harvard scientists, is that these are not natural at all. They are the energy leakage from colossal light sails, propulsion systems for interstellar craft. Each burst, a titanic engine firing, pushing vast structures across the void at incredible speeds. Think about that. Each millisecond pulse is enough energy to propel a starship. If they are repeating, it means the engines are firing again and again. Not a single random event, but continuous activity. A journey, a purpose. We are not hearing the static of a dead universe. We are hearing the engines of something massive, something alien, something moving. The silence of space is an illusion. What we are hearing in these precise, powerful bursts is the metallic clang of interstellar engines, the rhythmic thrum of propulsion, the war drums of the galaxy. Every flash, a fleet making a jump, every beat, a destination reached or departed from. And we are just listening in, a tiny fragile receiver, picking up the echoes of a conflict, a migration, a purpose we cannot comprehend. We are hearing activity on a scale that dwarfs our understanding, and it is not peaceful. It is the sound of power, and power in the dark is always a threat. But the war drums, the scouts, the colossal ruins, they all exist within the known universe. What if the threat, the ultimate anomaly, lies beyond? What if the universe itself is flawed, not just host to strange phenomena, but actively, physically, unraveling? This brings us to dark flow. Forget the great attractor, that local gravitational anomaly pulling our cluster of galaxies. Dark flow is bigger, far bigger. Scientists have observed that entire clusters of galaxies, vast swaths of the observable universe, are not just expanding away from each other as expected, but are also moving collectively, like a river towards a single, unseen point, a coherent directional drift. And here is where the terror truly begins. The source of this incomprehensible pull lies beyond the observable universe, beyond the cosmic horizon, beyond the very edge of what we can see, what we can measure, what we can even conceive of as our reality. It is not gravity, not as we understand it. Gravity diminishes with distance. This force is pulling billions of light, years of matter, as if it were a single, coherent stream. Imagine a bathtub. You pull the plug, the water slowly at first, then with increasing momentum begins to swirl, to drain away. That is the universe, and we are the water. The dark flow suggests our entire cosmic bubble. Our observable reality is not a self-contained entity. It is tilted, it is leaking, it is being siphoned off into something else, an external void, an abyss beyond the veil of space-time. This is not a monster in the dark. This is the dark itself, pulling us in. An unseen drain at the edge of existence. We are not just adrift in a vast ocean. We are on a ship, slowly, inexorably, being drawn towards a cosmic waterfall that spills into an unknown dimension. Every galaxy, every star, every atom is part of this silent, relentless drift. This is not a collapse, not an explosion. It is an erasure, a slow, quiet unraveling as our reality bleeds into something else. something unknowable beyond the very fabric of our physics. We are not just living in a universe. We are living on a raft floating towards the edge of a cosmic drain. So we have journeyed through the unsettling, from the silent scout that came and went, to the vast empty voids that scream of cosmic cleansing, from the precise, inexplicable sniper shot across the galaxy, to the decaying ruins of a civilization that built a star-sized cage. We've seen the bruise of a colliding reality, the invisible monster pulling us in, the impossible structures that break the universe's rules, and the evil axis that makes us question if we are truly alone or merely rendered. And now the war drums in the cosmic drain. Science, in its noble quest, seeks to explain these anomalies, to fit them into elegant equations to tame the unknown. But what if the explanation is far worse than the mystery? What if the answers we seek are precisely the ones that will shatter our fragile sense of reality, our illusion of safety, our comfortable ignorance? The universe we once believed was mostly quiet, mostly dead, a vast, empty stage for our brief drama. That was the comforting lie. These anomalies reveal the truth. The universe is a teeming, active, dangerous place. It is not silent. It is just too loud, too strange, too vast for our senses to properly interpret. We are not alone in a dark, empty room. We are in a room full of giants, and they are moving. Their footsteps shake the floor, their shadows loom, and their intentions are utterly alien. We spent millennia looking for signs of life, signs of intelligence. Now we have them, in the precise patterns of FRBs, in the impossible structures, in the calculated emptiness of the voids. We have seen the signature, and it is not friendly, it is powerful. It is ancient, it is calculating. Perhaps the greatest act of wisdom in a universe so clearly active, so clearly inhabited by forces beyond our comprehension, is not to light a torch. It is to remain absolutely, profoundly, devastatingly silent, to not make a sound, to not answer, to simply exist unnoticed for as long as we can.